Hello everyone, so I re-downloaded the Chinese client mainly because the Warrior class came out yesterday and I wanted to give it a shot. However, there is a few things that I noted that are quite interesting. So first of all, let's look at what future content we're getting on the NA server, what we're looking at. So you can see right now we're at Sandstorm Temple, right? So the next coming up dungeons is going to be the pirate ship is going to be the next one. Then we're going to get the, I guess we can call this the opera dungeon. And then we're going to get a solo dungeon, and then we get the demon dungeon. So, you know, the Korean server is currently on the demon dungeon, and so is the Chinese server. So I'm assuming we'll get this in maybe like, I don't know, 6 months or something down the line. But obviously with all these new dungeons, there's new equipment. So let's take a look at our items. So for our necklaces, our earrings, our rings, and our bracelets, there are no changes. It's exactly the same. You know, Twilight Vortex Temple necklace is best in slot. Your Twilight Temple earring and ring are going to be best in slot. Your bracelet is still going to be Sandstorm Temple, that's still best in slot. However, what changes here now are 2 items. It's going to be your belt and your gloves. So let's talk about the gloves first because it gives more damage. You know, crit damage is always nice. So you can see here that at the very bottom, we have our King's gloves, which we get from Hollow's Heart, and we have our PvP gloves, which just came out on the NA server last patch. However, you can also see here that there's a new set of PvE gloves and a new set of PvP gloves. So the PvE one is going to drop from the pirate ship map over here. So if you look at the pirate ship and you look at the drop table, it will drop the new gloves, as well as, you know, a new ring and a new necklace. However, there's no information about the ring or the necklace on the database over here, so I'm not sure if the NA server will get these accessories, because there's no information about them, strangely enough. But the next one is gonna be the belt, of course. So if you look over here, this is where the Sky Shatter belt maxes out. Don't ignore the fact that it goes up to level 12. This is a Chinese server exclusive. All accessories max out at stage 12 instead of stage 10. So, you know, Skybreaker is going to max out at stage 12. And then there's a new belt that maxes out also at stage 12, which is quite a bit better. You know, we're looking at about 140 defense difference. And the passive has a lot stronger, a lot of HP regen, and it is used for PvP. So let's see where this belt drops. Okay, and so this new belt is going to drop from the Demon Dungeon, the one that's out on the Korean and Chinese server at the moment. It's going to take a while before we get this dungeon, so I wouldn't worry about your belt. You know, max out your Skybreaker belt if you want, because, you know, this dungeon is going to be out in maybe 6 months or so for us in the NA server. It's going to take a while, so I wouldn't worry too much. But that's about it for equipment upgrades, to be honest. It's just gonna be, you know, your gloves and your belt are the new things. So for most people, it's just gonna be the gloves because, you know, you really want more crit damage. Let's take a look at our soul, just out of curiosity. So the Chinese server works very differently from the rest of the other servers for souls, but I'm just gonna let you see how this one, how it works out on the Chinese server. So basically, this is the maxed out souls that we have on the NA server right now. So this would be the True Tiger, and this is the True Dragon, or whatever it's called. And so in order to max out to the next tier of souls on the Chinese server, you actually have to farm a new soul. So you have to farm for the new soul in the opera dungeon over here. So when you get the drop that you need, for example the tiger soul, you then can use your existing tiger soul. So for example, if you're up here, your existing maxed out True Tiger, you transfer it over by using the soul that you farmed at the opera dungeon plus 20 of this new material in order to get your stage 11 of this soul. Keep in mind, souls max out on stage 15 in on the Chinese server, so I don't know what stage 11 is going to be the equivalent for, but you know, these souls are ridiculous. These souls are very, very strong. So I just realized something that's really interesting. If you look at the True Tiger soul, it lasts for 10 seconds, right? And then the True Dragon soul lasts for 12 seconds. However, with the new tier of souls, the Tiger Soul still only lasts for 10 seconds. However, the Dragon Soul lasts for 15 seconds. And the cooldown is actually shorter on the cooldown has been reduced from 60 seconds to 57 seconds on the Dragon Soul, while the Tiger Soul is still 8 seconds. So that's interesting. I don't know why they did this, and I don't have the soul, so I can't test it. But that's very interesting on why they made why they gave the Dragon Soul so many benefits and not the Tiger Soul. But you know, that's just a sneak peek on the new souls that will be coming out. You know, we're gonna get this in like a year, but whatever. Alright, so for the hearts, we can scroll all the way down here. You can see that it levels up to level 10. Then you branch off. You either branch off to the PvE path, or you branch off to the PvP path. And goes all the way up here. It's gonna be just like a pet aura all over again, but for elemental damage. So, you know, here's the maxed out PvE heart, and here is the maxed out PvP heart. And let's see if there's anything new in pet aura. I don't think there's anything new for pet auras. Oh yeah, there's a new pet aura. So, you know, we're maxed out here, and now it goes to like undying blah pet aura. But that's a lot of HP. 46,000 HP is pretty insane. But yeah, so that's all the new equipment that we're looking at in the future of Blade and Soul, just by judging the Chinese server. Keep in mind, take everything I said here with a grain of salt, because this is the Chinese server. The Chinese server has a lot of exclusive things that are not in the NA or on the Korean server. For example, another thing is we have 8 slots now. We have 8 slots for gems, which is something ridiculous. Look at the recommended AP. Sandstorm Temple, recommended AP 1,500. Recommended AP to do Hive Queen, 1,400 AP. So, you know, AP on the Chinese server is crazily inflated because of the amount of gems and all the crazy stuff that we get, and the weapon exclusives as well. You can see that we have these weapon gems as well, which allow us to mix and match, like our VT, like our Aransu weapon procs with our Raven weapon procs, and what allows us to mess around with a lot of things. I almost forgot. So all the future dungeons, for example, the Pirate Ship, the Opera House, and the Demon Dungeon, will drop the Celestial Steel that you need to upgrade your Celestial weapons. So, you know, so that's a good thing. You know, you can spam these dungeons to get your Celestial Steel and upgrade them. Unfortunately, they do not drop Celestial Wings. So Celestial Wings are gonna be locked behind the new weekly raids and Celestial and Twilight Temple itself. And that's it, guys. Sorry, I just had to put this in, so I totally forgot to talk about it in the video. So keep in mind that everything that I've covered in this video, not all of them are gonna come into the NA server. The only thing that I am sure that will come into the NA server are the dungeons and the gloves and the belt. These things are things that I am sure of. Everything else is, we don't know. We'll see if it happens or not. But anyway, that's it for me here, and thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
What can I say except you're welcome, for the heals, the boosts,